Alright ladies and gentlemen, to start today's episode, we are stripping the Barra. I'm super pumped, super excited, hoping we don't find a ton of damage because that will kind of be a bummer. My old man's on his way over, he's going to give me a little bit of a hand with the Barra, but he's also going to be working on his own stuff on his own car. So he's going to be playing around with that, I'm going to be playing around with the Barra, so let's see how far we get. We'll see you there.
We are dreaming in the dark.
Hey!
That worked alright.
I like it.
What do you do when you put your mind to it? Make tools.
Alright, so as you can see, we've just removed the harmonic balancer from this Barra engine without the special tool. Now all I've done is use some 8mm bolts. They might even be 10mm, but who knows. But I've used a washer. They're quite a thick washer, they're probably 2mm thick, 3mm thick washer. And we've ground a flat on them so that you can actually slide them in behind these little cutaways on the harmonic balancer, and that's how we managed to pull it off without the special tool. So yeah, you don't have to go and spend 170 bucks on the proper tool when a little bit of ingenuity and a really old puller set can replicate the same result. So once you remove this oil pipe, just in here is a tiny little circlip. You pull that circlip out and there's actually an oil, like a filter screen in there. Nobody ever replaces it. That's what starves your turbo of oil. That's what blows a lot of turbos up. So keep an eye on that and definitely check it if you're in the area. Okay, so you've just seen me remove the turbo. I had to run off with Dad and help him with his car, so today's a new day. Got me coffee. So let's continue stripping this car down. Well, the Barra, I should say. I don't like using rattle guns, especially on exhaust stuff, because the chance of snapping the bolt or stripping it is a lot higher. You can get bolts that pick up threads on the way out, so they don't necessarily strip, but they'll shift a piece of thread and pick up, and that will destroy the thread in the block or the head, and it's not good. So it's slow going by hand, but I'd rather do it by hand than run into issues.
Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep
Okay, so I've just cut with a razor down the sides and around here just to break the silicone, because this has been off before and it was very stuck. So I've just cut all around there and I've managed to just break it free now. So with the timing cover off now, you can see where it all began. Here is missing a piece of the guide. That's supposed to be a plastic guide right to the top like that one. That's fallen down there somewhere between the sprocket and the chain, which has made it jump a tooth on the crank. So now we've got to pull this off and see what more damage there is, if there's any damage to the crank at all. So this sprocket doesn't actually look too bad. I've seen them completely chunked out. This is the ring for the crank angle sensor. This is a sprocket for the timing chain. I've seen these missing teeth and having teeth pulled like right over and stuff like that. So this isn't too bad, but I'm probably going to replace it anyways for safe measure. I'm going to move the camera into the light so you can see this. In my hand is the piece of broken chain guide. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but there's even tooth imprints on it from where it went between the chain and the sprocket. So it punched clean straight through the bottom, up through this little peak here, and that's what made the chain skip a tooth. Alright, so I don't know if you can see just yet, but systematically and methodically I'm taking bits off, but I am organising them all on the bench. I'm organising them all on the bench over here, all in order, intake, exhaust, because the cam caps I'm going to reuse. The guides, the tension of the chain, they can technically all go in the bin, but the cam caps, the variable cam timing actuators and the sensors I'm all going to reuse. Obviously all the new seals and gaskets and stuff will get replaced, and the timing chain guides as well as the crank sprocket I'm probably going to renew as well. But I just thought I'd show you how I'm setting it all out, and I've also taken photos along the way as well as filmed it.
I'm enslaved. Yeah. Rolling another, I'm stuck in my seat from the whole control of my speech. Yeah, I've been trying to get off this couch for a minute and a whole damn week. No kidding, I'm skinny, I cannot eat. Got a million motherfuckers that depend on me. Yeah, every friend in my family, from a girl, every fan I meet myself. I'm too on till I'm too off. Come down to make new thoughts, like jumping off of that rooftop. Whole life never when I do nothing to make moves based on my mood drops. Like who's lost? Like who's lost? It's yo, steadily killing me, running my brain full of shame. I don't wanna lose it. Full of stage, trying to find my pain. I see the sun coming out of that rain. My day really not tame. I'ma never slow down. I'ma never behave. Stuck inside this prison, inside this cage.
Well, there it is. That's what I didn't want to see. If you look closely on the piston, you can see there's two fresh marks there and there. You can see it down in there, those two shiny marks, and 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 whatever the fuck that is, I think a grasshopper. Those two shiny marks right there. They are the intake valves hitting the pistons, so the rebuild probably just got a lot more expensive than what I wanted it to be. So yeah, we'll have to get the head checked, I suppose, see if we bent any valves. The pistons themselves should be okay. I don't think it would have been enough to bend a rod because it hasn't dropped a valve completely. It's sort of just given it a love tap. So the pistons should be okay, but the valves are definitely going to be questionable. Hopefully they're not bent. Alright, so I've just taken all the rollers out. So that's all the rollers there. They're all in line with the front with the head. Don't think they have to be in sequence, but I've made them in sequence anyways. Better be safe than sorry. So now we can flip the head up and have a look at the valve train. Alright, so you probably won't see this too well, but I'm just doing a very basic visual check of the valves here. I've uncovered the intake on this side, so I'm going to put the light in the intake port, and if we can't see it, around the valves, which I'm holding the camera around the valves now. You can see the torch, but that's actually the torch itself, and the flashing of the GoPro, but there's no actual light that you can see. So I think we're gonna be okay, but I'm gonna have it all tested by the head shop anyways. Alright, so I'm still not the best, so I've got a mate of mine, he's here to help me, and he's gonna start ripping the pistons out for me.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this.
So upon removing the pistons, I actually came across some good and some bad news. So the piston ring lands weren't cracked, which was my original fear, but unfortunately the pistons are looking like they're pretty much naffed, so I will have to replace them, and that is going to be costly. But here's some good news. Alright, so I'd like to say a massive thank you to Dominator Motorsports for jumping in with us on this build. Dominator Motorsports are the largest exporter of Barra engines from Australia to the USA, and they have warehouses in both countries. Dominator are constantly developing new products to add to their range of performance products for the Barra. They can also supply many parts from other leading brands at very reasonable prices. So thank you again, Dominator, for helping a small channel like myself, and I really hope you enjoy the series. Thank you very much everybody watching this. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Drop in the comments down below how much power you think this motor is going to make. Give it a little bit away as to what I'm going to do to it. So thank you very much again for watching. Don't forget you can watch another episode here, and you can subscribe easily here, or at any time in any episode, the bottom right corner, there's a little subscribe symbol. Thank you very much guys. We'll see you all in the next episode when we get to build the Barra. Cheers guys.